colonial women had long stood with men against the British. For example, do you remember that before the American Revolution, the Daughters of Liberty helped set up a boycott of British goods? Mercy Otis Warren was a big supporter of these boycotts. She became active in colonial politics through one of the committees of correspondence and even went on to become a key historian of the era. John Adams's wife, Abigail Adams, also played a key role from the earliest days of the Revolution. Along with Mercy Otis Warren and the governor's wife, Hannah Winthrop, Adams was asked by the Massachusetts Colony General Court to question and report on women who were suspected of being loyalists. Both Adams and Warren were smart thinkers and skilled writers. They often shared their ideas about liberty, freedom, women's rights, and a new government. As often happens in wartime, women took over many jobs at home that men usually did. Women ran farms, shops, and businesses. They also supported soldiers who passed through their communities by giving them a place to stay and food. Some women took more direct action. They traveled with the troops, working as nurses, cooking their meals, and washing their clothes. You may be surprised to learn that some women succeeded at espionage, or spying. This was mostly because men often didn't take notice of women. Many of these spies were maids or cooks for British officers. Those jobs made it easier for them to get key information. Some women even fought in the war. They did this by dressing up as men or sometimes just stepping into battle. They risked not only their lives but also jail. Women were not allowed to fight in battle. In 1777, Sybil Ludington rode more than 40 miles one night to warn forces led by her father of a British attack in Connecticut. The British planned to destroy American supplies there. She also warned the people along the way. When women did not have a real role in the war, they were smart about finding ways to help, some of which could be very risky. Abigail Adams asked her husband to give equal rights to American women, but it did not work. However, colonial women had shown that they could take part in the building of a new nation. Remember the ladies. The 4 women featured on this page: Abigail Adams, Anna Smith Strong, Mary Ludwig Hayes Macaulay, and Phyllis Wheatley, provide examples of women who were every bit as involved and took the same or greater risks in the American Revolution as the men. Abigail Adams wrote the following to her husband, John Adams, affirming that women were as much a force behind the war as men and deserved to be heard. In the new code of laws which I suppose it will be necessary for you to make, I desire you would remember the ladies. We are determined to foment a rebellion, and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. Abigail Adams in a letter to John Adams, March 31, 1776. Portrait of Abigail Adams by Benjamin Blyth, circa 1766. Phyllis Wheatley proved the pen could also be a mighty weapon. She was born in Africa, enslaved as a young girl, and sold to a family of Boston Quakers who provided her with a good education. She became a poet who called for freedom for all, praised George Washington, and supported the American Revolution. She was the first African-American poet to have her work published. Anna Smith Strong was a member of a spy ring on the coast of New York. She used a code based on how she hung out her laundry to let other members of the ring know when a messenger with information was arriving. A black petticoat on her clothesline meant the messenger was coming. The number of handkerchiefs scattered on the line indicated the cove in which he would land. Molly Pitcher at the Cannon's Mouth postcard, 1909. Mary Ludwig Hayes Macaulay carried water to cool off the soldiers and the hot cannon her husband was firing during battles. This earned her the nickname Molly Pitcher. She also worked with her husband to fire the cannon. Other women served in combat during the war. One of them was Margaret Corbin, who is buried and honored with a monument at the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York. The woman in the postcard above represents not just Molly Pitcher but all the brave women who faced combat during the Revolution.